Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Let's Play. This time featuring Sonic Origins. The Plus, specifically. Now, it's between this and my Tears of the Kingdom playthrough. I had already finished Tears of the Kingdom by the time I'm playing this right now. The date in which I'm recording this is June 27th. I can't promise this is going to be out the same day that I recorded this, but this isn't going to be like a... As far as I know, this won't be a one long video, or at least I'll try not to make it as such. Of course, all characters appearing here are owned by Sega, so, you know, credit where credit is due. So I really don't have much to say here. Now, I had thought about it, and I was wondering if I should do this in story mode, this extreme Let's Play in story mode or not. But I'm not entirely sure if each individual game would get credited, in between. So, for the sake of recording time and my own sanity, this extreme Let's Play will be back-to-back, but separate. In other words, I'll play this game to completion, followed by the next, and then the next, and, you know, you get the idea. Now, since there are now 4 characters, you know, you got your Sonic, your Knuckles, your Tails, and now your Amy. And there are 4 games. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to do this baton style. Basically, I'll play one game with one character, and then by the end, you know, we'll have them all used and all played. Now, let's establish a few rules here. Now, for the sake of screen quality, I'm going to be playing this in Anniversary mode. And while lives do not matter in Anniversary mode, this is an extreme Let's Play, so I'm going to afford myself only 3 tries per game. If I lose all 3 tries, the whole LP is over. But here's some stipulations. 1, in between games, whatever tries I still have left will carry over to the next. So if I somehow eke out, say, a perfect win here in Sonic the Hedgehog, those three tries will carry over to Sonic CD, whereby I'll have 6. And then 12, and... Or wait, 6, 12, 9, 12, then 12. Sorry, math. What is it? Also, it's not just enough to beat each game. I have to collect all of that game's preset MacGuffins. Now, I will be playing in Anniversary mode, and yes, I will be using some code selection shenanigans, but only to otherwise enhance the playthroughs, and or to improve upon some shortcomings. For example, spoiler warning, when we get to Sonic 2, I'll be playing as Knuckles. Now, because Knuckles has a lower jump overall, and while the game is not technically impossible to play as Knuckles, for the sake of, just for the sake of preventing what otherwise would be shenanigans, I'll be playing Sonic 2 with the debug code on. But apart from that, everything will be as, wait, hold on. Oh, you cheeky bastard. Putting a Sonic Advance 2 reference in there? Yeah, I noticed that. Anyway, where was I? Oh, right. So, yeah, I'll be playing with the debug code on for Sonic 2 while playing as Knuckles. Speaking of which, these games do have instances where you might get crushed, even though it doesn't look like you should. I'm not going to count those as deaths. That'll just, that's just a do-over then. We'll address those when or if we come to those otherwise. But, older games like that, tend to have those kind of shenanigans, if you want to call them that. Now, as far as the game's MacGuffins go, Sonic the Hedgehog technically only had 6 emeralds. The Anniversary mode, or Sonic Plus, you can actually adjust it to 7 emeralds. Now, for the sake of simplicity, I only need 6 out of the 7 emeralds. If I get a 7th emerald, great, because technically 6 is the canonic event. Basically, the reason I want to collect the MacGuffins is that it makes the in-game cutscenes museum. It basically will make the intros and outros make more sense. Like the Sonic 1 outro, where it shows the 6 emeralds, not the 7 emeralds. The Sonic CD outro, which shows, basically Sonic winning the day and the little planet, escaping? Yeah, let's go with that. So, there's that for you. So, yeah, not really much else to say here. So, maybe we should just, get on it. Okay, so, now don't worry if I talk your ear off. I'll have the rules typed up in the description, so, for everyone to see, so, there's that. There might be a few things I might talk about here, but, fun fact, and I'll probably mention it here too. I've actually had a cousin who owned a Sega Genesis, Sonic & Knuckles, and Sonic 2, but I never knew that the Sonic & Knuckles cartridge could be opened up and you could stick another cartridge inside it. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I never owned a Genesis, and I didn't own this game personally on a Genesis, so I never knew that the games were not only one, but you could combine them. So yeah, I was playing Sonic & Knuckles and Sonic 2 separately, and I was never able to do that. So yeah, I missed out on the magic of that. My only exposure to a locked-on version of the game was actually on the PC back in the Windows, 95, 98 era, where I was playing this game on the PC. So, which, funnily enough, the game music for Sonic 3 actually has, the non-Genesis soundtrack. It doesn't sound quite... This game doesn't sound quite like I remember it on the PC, but it's a close rendition. I mean, I'm not going to knock the soundtrack, but of course, purists out there absolutely hate the new tracks because it's not authentic. Kind of in the same way where people prefer, Dragon Ball Super to Dragon Ball GT, it's like to say, this was worked on by the original creator, and that project over there was only blessed by the original creator, Like the difference between God-born and God-touched. I mean, come on. Anyway, let's just get into it here. So, Anniversary mode. Okay, let's see if I remember how to do this. Up, down, left, right, A. Or, I guess on the Switch, it's Y. Okay. Oops. Okay, oh, okay. Alright, so max emerald set to 7. Um, items. Do I want to keep the Sonic 1 items on? Sonic 2, Sonic 1, and Sonic 3. Sonic 2 and Sonic 3. The only difference with Sonic 2 is that it basically just, I think, changes the shield look from the iconic to the Sonic 2 version. But apart from that, that's all there is. We'll just keep Sonic 1 shield. Sonic 1 spikes. Well, we're playing with 7 emeralds instead of 6, so authenticity's already out the window. Yeah, why not? Let's just, for the few times... You know, actually, there are 2 different sets of spikes in Sonic 1, now that I remember. There's the ones in the Labyrinth Zone, and then there's the giant ones in, you know, Green Hill. We'll just say on. Air speed cap, doesn't matter. We're not playing as anyone who can fly. Ground speed cap, I guess we'll turn that off. Spin dash. Again, we're playing with 7 and not 6 emeralds, so we can keep the spin dash, I think. Player, oh, right, I guess I have to, see, 00 Sonic and Tails. That's Sonic, that's Tails, that's Knuckles. 4, I believe, is Amy, so we'll play as Amy for Sonic 1. And we'll start all the way in the first level. There we go. Alright. Here we go. Oh, by the way, fair to mention, this game also lets you retry a special stage. I'm going to permit myself to do that, but at the cost of one of my tries, if I should have enough. Now, spending all my tries to get another MacGuffin is not the same thing as losing it. So if I happen to lose a life or a try with no tries available, then it's game over. So I'll have to try to strike a balance between trying again in the traditional sense of having to collect more rings or just simply trying right away outright. Alright. So Sonic Superstars is coming out, like, I think winter this year. I'm kind of excited for it. I mean, I kind of wish I had other celeb friends, but I don't. Hell, I don't have any regular friends for that matter, but oh right, it's over here. You'd think Sonic Mania would have Amy as playable, but it doesn't. Kind of weird, huh? But then again, it has, like, Mighty and Ray, so I don't know, trade-off, I guess. I mean, a game, they can't put everything into one game versus another. You gotta have something that keeps people coming back to the game separately, right? It's kind of like how Mario Maker 2, you know, just, you know, you'd think they would add, like, the ice flower or something, you know, but again, you gotta have something that sets it apart on some level so that you keep people coming back. Okay, do I go for it or not? I don't want to waste my chances, so... You know, I suppose if I wanted to, I could have started on a special stage before starting the first level as kind of a way of trying to get, like, the first emerald right off the bat before we began, but I don't know. Authenticity, right? I know it's probably taboo or whatever for some to talk about it, but remember how Sonic 4? Yes, it exists. Remember how Sonic 4, like, took inspiration from this and basically had you control the stage itself instead of the character, which was always centered? I mean, I thought that was kind of fun. I just kind of wish the Wii U version, I just wish the Wii U had both episodes of 1 and 2 on the same system, but they only got the first episode. The other platforms got episode 2, so I don't know if it was just Sega being tight-fisted with Nintendo or what. I don't know. But then again, I mean, it's Sonic 4. I mean, it wasn't that well received, so I don't know. Maybe I dodged a bullet or something, I don't know. There we go. So far, so good. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've watched a single episode of Sonic Prime. I probably should, just say I did, but I don't know. I don't know. I have this weird thing with me where, like, because it exists, I kind of feel like everything is just, whatever. Like before, when movie theaters used to exist, you'd watch a movie in the theaters, and, you go out of the way to own the DVD, or not to show my age here, but a VHS tape, and you, like, wow, that's like the third invincibility box in this stage? Wow. But anyway, you watch a movie in theaters, right? But then you proceed to own the movie, right, for your home, but then you never get around to watching it, because a lot of people are like a been there, done that mentality, I think that's kind of the reason why a lot of board games these days have long since been ported to, like, digital media, because, why buy a whole new board of pieces you could potentially lose when you could just as easily boot up a digital version of Monopoly, for example. Come to think of it, maybe I could do an episode of Monopoly, I don't know, just an idea. Oh, by the way, I know this is kind of a weird time to bring this up, but I saw the June 2013 Nintendo Direct, which was actually just a few days ago. And yeah, I'm well aware that they're going to remake Mario RPG. At this time, I humbly request of the more famous YouTubers to hold off on doing a playthrough of it. Essentially, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'd like to call for dibs on it. I mean, not because you guys are bad at your jobs, but see, the thing is, I kind of wanna, get famous in my own right, So I'm just asking if you would hold off for maybe, Actually, come to think of it, I don't even know how long the remake is going to be. I mean, if the Super NES version of Mario RPG is only like, what, like 6 hours, as some people have said? I mean, there's no telling how long that game the remake is going to be, right? I think for safety's sake, I think I'll probably just ask that you hold off on doing it for yourselves, like for 2 weeks at least. At least give me time to actually, you know, play it, upload at least 1 or 2 episodes on my end. I mean, I don't know. I have so many coins here that are just sitting there arbitrarily doing nothing. I mean, oh, damn it. Well, that's the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. I'd be ashamed to end this Let's Play. Not because I lost my lives, but because I failed otherwise. But yeah, I mean, this game had, like, Game Gear titles now implemented. And, you know, the sound quality on some of them, you know, namely the music, does sound pretty horrendous, I'm not gonna lie. But some aren't so much. In the ones I've played, the audio isn't so much horrendous as it is, like, just annoying. I mean, I played the Game Gear titles on a Game Gear, you know, and I don't know, I guess I kind of wish I never sold my Game Gear, because, you know, I was getting older, and, you know, I was hard up for cash, you know. I just kind of find it funny that, you know, despite the fact that I sold my Game Gear and the Sonic titles, you know, that in a weird way, those games have now come back to me, you know. Between the Game Gear and the Genesis, I mean, obviously the Genesis is always going to be superior to it, so... In the same vein, like how a Super Nintendo is superior to a Game Boy. You know? I mean, no matter what... I mean, with emulation, I mean, you can only do so much, right? And when something... It's kind of like, you know, back in... The earliest example of trying to improve upon something is that, like, if you take a JPEG of something that's... in which the resolution is, you know, small by default, if you try to enhance the image or make it bigger, you're going to get some distortions, whether you like it or not, you know? Inversely, if you try to take a bigger image and make it smaller, then yeah, you'll get distortions that way too. Sometimes, you know, things you can't muck with, you know? Otherwise, yeah, you're going to get poor quality. So, you know, I guess I'm one of those people where, you know, I can lower my expectations and not be disappointed, you know? So, wow, I went off on, like, several tangents, didn't I? Let's see, bringing it back. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for Mario RPG. I mean, if Square or Square Enix is heading up the project, you know, I mean, we don't even know if there's going to be anything new that's been added, you know? For all I know, there could be a post-game mega dungeon, you know? I mean, if you look at the map of Mario RPG, I mean, there was always, like, the center was always kind of, you know, empty. I mean, not to mention, you know, in the final battle with Smithy, you know, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't played the original, you know, the nightmare fuel that is the battleground in which you're fighting Robot Smithy. You're fighting on top of a pile of Smithies, right? So it kind of makes me wonder, I mean, there's just this kind of rabbit's hole, if you will, where, okay, if Smithy was a robot, then who made Robot Smithy, right? Like, was it a fake smithy all along, or, you know? I mean, things with which... A plot point which probably would never be explored, perhaps maybe until now. I don't know. I mean, that's my question, you know? No, jump. Oh, I got the 10,000 points as well. Yeah, you gotta be real careful here. If you don't jump into the ring after you spin the post, you know, the game will automatically just scoot you to the right, you know? Whoa. I almost ate it. Oh, right in there. Yes. I did it. That's 3 emeralds now. You know, come to think of it, I never actually adjusted the game to 7 emeralds and only collect 6 to see what would happen. I mean, would I still get a good ending with 6, or will Eggman be shown, you know, juggling the 7th emerald? You know? I never did test that out before. Nope, I don't care to. I think this is the 3rd level? Shoot, I don't remember. I hated these robots when I was a kid. I mean, conceptually, Caterkillars are great, but real hard to topple, you know. I guess they're the Spinies of the Sonic universe, I guess. For me, I don't know. Okay, I think this is the 3rd level anyway. one thing a lot of Sonic fans don't particularly like about, hold on a second here. Alright, hello. Hello. Okay, I think the audio's alright. One particular thing that hardcore Sonic fans probably don't like about, you know, the older titles like this one is that you get your first level, like, you know, Sonic, like Green Hill Zone, and you're going fast, but when you get to Marble Zone, you know, suddenly everything just slows to a crawl, you know. I mean, you know, in my opinion, I mean, limitations, I mean, you know, they don't make for a bad gameplay experience. I mean, you don't want a game to be too easy, right? Otherwise, what's the point, you know? Get robots like that, which I'm not even sure what it's supposed to be. Skipped right to the end. Oh. Alright, that's 4. I don't think I died a single time as of yet, so 4 emeralds, 3 tries. Things are looking pretty good. You know, one thing I've noticed, like, if you notice, like, in the later Sonic titles, with the green-eyed Sonic, how, he doesn't really do the spin dash very often, as opposed to the boost mechanic. I think the reason he doesn't really do although being capable of it, he doesn't do it as often, is that, I don't know, like, I think it kind of makes him feel a little ill to do the spin dash, when he's older. I mean, that's just my theory, because, when I was a kid, I used to do this thing where, I would stare at the ground and just rotate myself in a standing circle, and it would be a while before I would get dizzy or feel sick, right? It's like kind of being on a roller coaster, But when you're older, you have like it's kind of hard to explain, but when you're older, you have like a different center of gravity, I guess. So when you try to run in circles or some other repetitive motion, you kind of tend to feel ill, I mean, I remember trying to chase this rabbit or critter that was in our yard, right? And instead of running away outright, the rabbit, for whatever reason, decided to run around me in 2 complete circles. I'm not kidding, 2 complete circles. And, after the second or third rotation, I just kind of felt dizzy and, kind of felt a little sick, And then the rabbit kind of decided to, vamoose, as it were. I mean, I don't know why I found that to be kind of funny. I mean, it was a little humiliating, but to be fair, I was trying to chase after a creature that was not only small and quick, but, I mean, I'm big and fat, so... yeah, not really smart. I wasn't really using my brain that day. Whew. miss, you know, one of the things I miss about video games from my era is that, you know, I guess at the time with which I was born, I mean, I'm glad to have experienced, like, several different eras of video games. You know, I grew up with, like, you know, I grew up with cheat codes, cheating devices, and now I'm old enough and have been around long enough to, you know, see emulators, you know, of various games. You know, ROM hacks. I mean, that seems to be how things are nowadays. Whoa, what the hell? You all saw that, right? I somehow clipped through a boundary there. Only in my videos do I somehow clip through boundaries and such. I mean, so far nothing tops the one where Link was, like, even shorter, and he clipped through the ground at that stable. I don't remember which episode that was. I think it was like 17 of the Extreme Breath of the Wild playthrough. Don't remember, but it happened. I kind of contemplated whether or not to give myself another, you know, try or whatever in that game, but didn't have to. Beat it already, so. But yeah, I mean, these days it's all save states and emulators, but, you know, back in the day it used to be about cheat codes and such. And even when saving a game became more of the mainstream, you know, there were games that actually had the option, you know, like, well, like Crash Bandicoot, for example, for PlayStation 1, you know. You would have, like, you know, if you had a memory card, great, you know. If you didn't, you know, no worries. But you had to type in, like, a really long password that basically was the equivalent of, you know, all of your progress, right? I mean, it wasn't a bad thing, you know, but kind of monotonous, you know. These days, like I said, you know, there are no cheat codes anymore, so you gotta either be good or that's just pretty much it. I mean, one of the scummier things, though, this has led to is the idea that you pay extra to get extra, you know? I mean, now, I'm not pointing fingers at Sonic, you know, Sonic Origins Plus here. I mean, I know a lot of people criticize the Game Gear games and their audio or emulation, you know, in this version, you know, but again, as I said before, you know, emulation can only be pushed so far, you know, even if it is by the same teams, right? And even then, you know, the Game Gear titles are not the main draw, you know. Playing as Amy is the main draw here. You know, I mean, if you shelled out like $10 for the upgrade, you know, for the Game Gear titles, then I'm sorry to say you shelled out $10 for the wrong reason. It's kind of like the Switch Online service, you know. The main reason you pay for a basic subscription is so you can play AAA titles online. Was this the level that had the... Oh, that's a death. Well, there goes one of my tries. I mean, it would be a shame to end the Let's Play, you know, as early as Sonic 1. Okay, so, note to self, all spikes are potentially deadly. Guess I'll be going the long way then. You might notice if you're underwater and you hear the beeping noise, if it beeps 3 times, while you're underwater, then the countdown will begin. So you actually have a better chance of knowing how much time you got. Well, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Hmm. Okay, that's another death. Well, one try left. Son of a bitch. Actually, I don't think it matters if I collect all the rings. I think this is the third level, right? Or third act. I don't know. My brain wants to call it a level rather than a zone or an act. I don't know. I guess I've been playing too many Mario games or whatever. Or I could call it a course. Reminds me, I don't think I've ever been inside a theater since the apocalypse. It's a shame, too, because the movie I wanted to see was like the first Sonic the Hedgehog, right? See, you thought the run was going to be over in that moment, didn't you? Nope. I think one of the tags I might use on this Let's Play is probably blast processing. Yeah, probably have taglines like, doesn't matter if I hit the checkpoint or not. I'm dead if this doesn't work out, so. But yeah, probably use buzzwords like, views and blast processing and suspense and extreme challenge or self-imposed challenge. I don't know. I gotta take this... I gotta take this relatively slow here. Sorry, had to. It was either that or the Let's Play would have been over. Oh, you know what my problem is? I should have been drinking. I should be drinking the Sonic G Fuel. Instead, I'm drinking some other drink, which will remain nameless. That's my problem. I'm not drinking the right beverage. Because, you know, that's how it works, right? You want to be good at a Sonic game, you gotta drink the Sonic one. You want to be good at Mega Man, you gotta drink the Mega Man one, you know. Let me think about this. Should zero count? Well, I think zero will count. But I have to get it this time, otherwise I'm finished. Got it. That's 6. Canonically, that's a pass. Technically, I don't have to get the 7th one. But I still have to protect my own hide from destruction. Yeah, that's not gonna be misinterpreted. Oh, I hate those things. Okay. The newly and never before seen 7th stage. Oh, I forgot, it's like... Nope, can't retry it. I've already exhausted it. Crap. Oh, that's a shame. Well, not to jinx myself, but if we survive this, I guess we'll know, Huh? Hold on. Oh, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. My phone chimed in with a blurb about something that I was already aware of. Hate it when that happens, but yo, why is there a barrier? Shortcut because, you know, I don't have all 7 of the emeralds, so I can't really enjoy it anyway. just gotta do this without getting my ass killed, that's all. A long time ago, I used to own this, like, code book, which, now that I think about it, might have been an unofficial publication by Scholastic that shared with me some, codes for Sonic games out at the time, including the Game Gear titles. But of course, you know, trying to Google something that time forgot, you know, you don't get any hits for it except for things that are most useful to you. And even then, I mean, what good are code books when you can just look up shit on the internet, right? I mean, I kind of wish I still had that book, but even if I did, it was probably damaged. See, I have a little sister who loved to destroy things, you know? Okay, so I guess I won. Of course, that still puts me at a position where I have only 3. Oh. Whew. I was about to say, was I going to be robbed of victory here, or what? Okay, now, regardless of whether it says try again, I still had 6 of the 7 emeralds, so technically this game only had 6. So, as far as I'm concerned, that's a win. I think the reason that the game kind of stalled there was because, you know, it was trying to differentiate between, okay, a normal playthrough where 6 is the winning number versus this playthrough where 7 is technically a winning number. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. Okay, so for those who are curious, if you have 7 emeralds instead of 6 in a modified playthrough, you'll get a try again if you didn't get the 7th emerald. Okay. Now, technically I won this, okay? And I said that from the beginning, so... Besides... Because from a narrative standpoint, it would make this cutscene, you know, make more sense, you know. Okay, so that was Sonic the Hedgehog. Next up, we'll be taking a trip to let's see, Swap Island. We'll be taking a trip to little planet in Sonic CD has a certain other character that... No, not Knuckles. Yeah, this one right here. Now, I could play as Tails in Sonic 2, but I'm not entirely sure if they fixed that thing where Tails doesn't get a super form unless you use the debug code. But that's kind of the reason why I'm going to be playing as Tails in Sonic CD. So, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next game then.